Okay. Today my topic is the story of the failure of the nationalist project from the Tagore's The Home and the World. So let's begin. Rabindranath Tagore, most known for his poetry, he was an equally good lyricist, novelist, playwright, and a painter. Tagore's short stories are most highly regarded because of their simple subject and uh, matter also. On the whole, his works dealt with history, linguistics, and spirituality, and uh, The Home and the World is a novel that reads like an allegory on the failure of the Indian nationalist project, circling around the issues of home versus world. And in the novel, the offers is that an alternative nationalist project that could be free India from its obsession with colonizing powers. True freedom of the nationalist project imagination will be gained by going beyond every from the of ideological prejudice and separation. And uh, in the novel, it challenges the notion of India as an exclusive Hindu nation. It questions that the validity of a nationalism that focuses on emotion rather than on economic self sufficiency and social justice. It takes exception to the aggressive masculinity of the nationalist project. It takes from Mukherjee's 618 and 19. Also, in the novel, the conflicts like within the Indian Congress about the role and function of Swadeshi led to divisions within the movement. The extremists adopted the Swadeshi, claiming that the superiority of the Indian economy, politics, and arts, while the moderates wanted to dedicate themselves to social reform. And The Home and the World was published 10 years after the vexing partition of Bengal and the beginning of the magic initiation of Vande Mataram, first in Bengali in 1915 and then in English 1919. Then Mahatma Gandhi gained control over the Indian National Congress in the early 1920s. The movement of non-cooperation gained strong footholds all over India again. The ideas of Swadeshi were received, the economic system was recognized, and government schools and colleges were boycotted. And by January 1921, when virtually all the colleges in Calcutta, the administrative and intellectual center of Bengal, were closed, Tagore, unhappy with Gandhiji's narrowness of aims, complained in a letter to Charles Freer Andrews, a professor at Shanti Niketan, that the non-cooperation movement was opposed to his own notions of the nation. And he also said in his one of the letter, he said that what irony of fate is this, that I should be praising the cooperation of cultures between east and west on this side of the sea, just at the moment when the doctrine of non-cooperation is preached on the other side. Uh, then Then, in one of the letters, Tagore argued that the radicalism of nationalist self-reliance based on the principle of boycott. The central idea of the Swadeshi movement is that uprooted students and tempted them away from their career before any real provision was made. And second thing was that the home and the world should be read as an alternative to the spirit of non-cooperation, which was electrical, the spirit of sacrifice that was in very air we breathed. Then, in the novel, the woman, failure in the home and in the world, the character of woman. It is the British policy to barbarize Indian culture and decorate it with Western techniques and modernity, and this is the policy that shapes the emergence of the home and the world's project. And second notable thing is that the subordination of the middle class of Calcutta to the colonial system was to be premised upon its cultural leadership of the indigenous colonized people. It takes from Chatterjee's 36th chapter. And third thing was that the nationalist project was in principle a hegemonic project, according to again Chatterjee's chapter of 35. Then the character of man in this novel, The Home and the World, is that the two main male characters, as we know, Nikhil and Sandeep, uh, they portray characters like uh, function as two possibilities of the home and the world's nationalist project. They act as core agents of the world by offering utopianism and rationalism respectively. And also most significant character is Nikhil. Nikhil suggests that the unfeasibility of both rationalist nationalism and utopian nationalism, whereas Sandeep bases his nationalism on an extremist belief in individual wisdom, science, and passion. Nikhil devotes his life to the ultimate truth, a complete freedom of mind and voice. And from that, both characters are haunted by Western technology and philosophy. Both belong to the Western educated elite. Both are attached to the colonial in terms of education, administrative expertise, and economic privileges, and detached from the barbarian and subaltern supposed tradition. It also takes from Chatterjee's one of the chapter. And the fact that Tagore himself translated The Home and the World and other fragments of his Bengali work into English, therefore, could also be seen as a way of challenging British suspicious and to make a more or less direct appeal to Western readers and intellectuals to support his project of an international school, the universal model of nation, the concrete embodiment of his nationalist project. And here is my references. And thank you very much all.
Okay, you can stop. You can stop presenting now.
Yes, yes, sir.
Yes, questions to her.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, Chandani, you are audible.
My question is, what is the central idea of the Swadeshi movement?
The central idea of the Swadeshi movement is that it uprooted students and tempted them away from their career before any real provision was made. It considered as a central idea of this novel, of the Swadeshi movement.
Yes, Bhumika. Am I audible?
Yes, Daya,
Yes.
you are
Okay.
audible.
Okay. So at the end of your presentation, you have made the point about the translation of this book, The Home and the World. So what is the fact about the translation? This book is translated from Bengali to English by Surendranath Tagore. So what are the fact about that?
Yes, the most important fact about this story is that uh, it is translated by himself, not any other publication or any other person.
Okay, Bhumika. Thank you.